What is going on, Washington fans? We got our special guests, the Elite channel members. Shout out to Kenny Man Fitness. Shout out to Oscar. Shout out to On the Warpath. Big win. Happy Thanksgiving. There's a Daniel Snyder. Big win against Dallas. Bringing out the brooms. I left my broom in the kitchen. I should have brought it out, but I had to have it for the video. So I'll shout out some people. Nathan Whitman, what's going on? He said, we're ready. Hassan Moore, what's going on, man? Tyler C, what's up? JC, what's up? Mari, Kevin Harwood, fan 04, what is going on? The channel member, shout out to him. What's going on? What's going on? If you guys do want to become an Elite channel member, you definitely can subscribe or join with the link below. So first, I'll start out. First question of the night. I'll say we're going to talk about the Dallas game. We're going to recap that real quick. And then I do want to talk about the Steelers game, how they moved our game to Monday at 5 o'clock. If that's going to help us or hurt us. So first, I'll say, what was your good, bad, and ugly for the game on Thanksgiving when we beat the Cowboys 41-16? Kenny, I'll let you start off.
Oh, man. The good part was I really like how the offensive line held up. But I really, really like how Antonio Gibson had a monster game, bro. We all been waiting for this, and he finally answered the bell. We see why he was taken in the third round with the 66th pick. We see what he does, man. And, we put in the league on notice. Everybody, did you hear the statistics about the game? How everybody across the world was why it broke records, bro. So everybody know who we are. And all we got to do is do something with Pittsburgh, and we'll probably shock the world.
Mm-hmm. So I did see that.
My ugly was, we really didn't play. I didn't see no things that I didn't like. I was just encouraged. I was shocked the whole time. I couldn't even eat my food because I was so busy screaming, and just shock and all. You know what I mean? I didn't really see any, bad flaws out there. I just think that overall, we did an awesome job.
Yeah, I feel you. I could barely eat too because I didn't want to miss anything. So I ate at halftime. We were talking about the terrible halftime show. I ate during the halftime show for real. But yeah, like you said, there was a lot of good, not a lot of ugly at all, man. Big win. How about you, Oscar?
So my good is actually like Kenny said, the Antonio Gibson show that he put on. I actually named my title Antonio Gibson is a monster, so rightfully so. Also Terry McLaurin. He didn't have 100-yard game, but he did have big plays. He stopped that that pick six attempt from Dallas. So for me, that was a lot of good. Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin stepping up. The ugly, not much ugly, but Alex Smith, just the interception is the only thing that I had down. So, because yes, it didn't matter at the end of the day, but when it will matter, because like it or not, Washington is still in the run for the division. So can he limit those interceptions when it matters?
Yeah, it was a bad interception. Thank goodness for Terry saving the day on that pick. On that tackle, because it was going to be a pick six. So yeah, Alex he does have to improve on that. Alex has been better, kind of than what he was in 2018. He's been more of a gunslinger. How about you, Warpath?
I think like what Kenny said and Oscar said, Antonio Gibson, man, went to the apartment 3 times and gave him the wave. How cold-blooded is that? It's kind of like what we said during draft time. This guy was dynamic, but I thought he was going to be a role player, not a feature guy. And that was just so impressive to see him take over that game. Dallas fans, they were kind of clowning like, who is this cat? We don't know who he is. You do know now. My ugly is Ronald Darby putting aloe vera back in business, making Amari Cooper look relevant again. A buck 12 by Amari in that 54-yard touchdown pass. I think that is probably really the only ugly thing that I saw out of that. And I would have said the interception if Terry hadn't chased down Jalen Smith. you know, and as far as the game getting changed, I mean, this is what you have to do if you want to be the man. You got to win like the man, right? You got to win on prime time. You did it once, you're going to have to do it again. Eventually, the curse is going to have to break. Why not on Monday? Why can't it be broken just a little bit early? It'll be Monday afternoon football instead of Monday night. So maybe we kind of break that curse a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm gonna be just getting off work. But for me, my ugly, yeah, Ronald Darby. The good was Scott Turner. I'll actually give him his credit because I think we've all been hard on Scott because Scott was pretty bad through the first 5, 6, 7, 8 games. He was real questionable, real shaky. But he looked like he had a lot of confidence. He wasn't scared to call trick plays. He wasn't scared to go for it on 4th down, make big plays. So I got to tip my cap to Scott Turner. I really do. Ugly for me was the refs. I feel like DeMarcus Lawrence was offsides on that one play. If y'all remember that one play, there was another play where Inman was close to a 1st down. I thought it was a 1st down. They tried to give Gallup a 1st down, but they finally went back and reviewed it and said it was 4th and 1 or 4th and inches where we finally got that stop. But they were trying to cheat and give him the 1st down. So my ugly was the refs, but like I said, that's out of our control. But I knew Jerry Jones kind of had to fix him, but we were just the better team. So he couldn't really cheat that much with the refs. So Chris Carter, thank you for the donation. He said, "What's good, fellas? Great win on Thanksgiving. Once again, happy Thanksgiving." Shout out to Dan Snyder for that. Happy Thanksgiving. Rich Heigl, shout out to him. He's a channel member. Thomas Rice, what's going on? Reggie Reg, he's a channel member. Shout out to him. He said, "Washington family was good." Reddy Red, the Dallas fan. Got to shout him out, man. He's always in the stream. Big Dallas fan. We got to bring the brooms out, Reddy Red. Bring the brooms out, man. AM Hunter, I love his profile picture. That's my favorite profile picture right there.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. That'll get.
He said, "Yo, Edo and panel. I know everyone. Turkey Day was outstanding. Much love to all." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you. So, my next question, I guess we'll talk about Alex Smith. You know, you guys heard the rumor from Ian Rappaport saying that he probably will be the day one starter in 2021. I just want to get you guys feeling on that. Would you be okay with Alex Smith starting week 1 in 2021? Kenny, I'll let you go first.
That depends on how he finished out this season. If he keep playing the way he playing, why not? Like, he's been a pleasant surprise. I ain't gonna lie. When they put him in, I was just like, the season's over with, man. I got to take that back. That boy been playing. He looked good. He looked sharp. He looked like the Alex Smith when he played in Kansas City and he had that big year. He's throwing it downfield. It don't look like he's just checking it down. It's like he got that gunslinger mentality. Like he has nothing to lose. I don't know if it's the leg, the story, back against the wall. He's just going hard, and I feel it. I feel the energy. I love it. So I wouldn't mind as long as he finished off the season strong.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, he's been gunslinging way more than what he used to. The Giants game, he brought us back. The Lions game brought us back. So we'll see what he can do. The titanium rod in his leg looks like he's coming back stronger. Yeah. So we'll see. How about you, Oscar?
Yeah, I'm okay with it as well. Because again, even if if Washington drafts a rookie, that rookie's probably gonna need some time to develop. So we don't want to fall in that trap where we had a rookie quarterback but didn't have a good quarterback to develop him. So if we keep Alex Smith, we avoid that. We avoid signing another quarterback to develop him, because we already have Alex Smith on the roster and paid.
Right. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, I'd be fine with it. With him being like a day one starter, maybe they kind of phase him out, because this is what Alex Smith is actually good at. Colin Kaepernick, Patrick Mahomes, these guys, they played behind him. They kind of learned from him. I like Alex's attitude right now. He's playing fearless, and I've told y'all before, I'm invested in titanium. This week, I'm going on the stock market and putting in my money on titanium because it can withstand anything. I think they may have got a shard of titanium in his heart, but he's taking those chances. Funny thing is, he's 2-1 in games that he's thrown interceptions in. If you want to count the Giants game, but in his starts, he's 2-0. The only game he didn't throw an interception in was Detroit, and they lost the game. So I like ugly. If ugly wins game, I'll take ugly over sexy any day of the week.
All day long.
Yes.
Yeah. He is 8-5 as the Washington starter. He had us on the warpath to the playoffs in 2018.
What you talking about, Ed?
it looks like he has us on another path, possibly to the playoffs again. So we'll see. Make sure you guys sub up on the warpath. Make sure you guys sub up Kenny. Make sure you guys sub up Oscar too. Everybody in here has their own YouTube channel, so make sure you guys sub them up. One more question about the Dallas game, because I don't want to let Ready Red off the hook. One more question about the Dallas game. What play changed the game for you guys? What was the game breaker play for you guys? If just one play changed the game, the whole complex of the game. How about? And we'll start off with you again, Kenny.
Terry. Everybody know that. Your answer got to be Terry. The chase down, that was mean. That was mean, man. Everybody talking about that. People that's not even Washington fans. I'm hearing that Philadelphia was upset because they didn't draft Terry. Terry's a problem. He's a third-round pick, but he plays like a top 10 first-round pick. Like, I think we might have a second making of Art Monk. I'm not making this thing up. I just see it like he's different. Some people just has that it factor. He has it. He's the guy. He just has it.
Yeah, no, you're on it. I mean, Terry. I mean, people talk about him and DK. We saw what DK did to Philly last night, so I was pretty happy about that. But Terry's. I think he's third in the NFL with receiving yards right now. He's on pace for like 90 catches on a year. I mean, the guy is incredible. For him to chase down Jalen Smith like that, that's something that some guys would pout. Like Antonio Brown is a guy where he might just pout after that, but Terry's running them down and saved the game after that. So that was a crazy great play by Terry McLaurin. How about you, Oscar?
I think it was the last touchdown by Antonio Gibson, because I remember I was going back and forth with a friend because it was close to that third quarter, and then the fourth quarter just blew up. But it was 27-16, and I told my friend, I'm like, hey, you never know. It's a field goal and a touchdown or 2-point conversion can change everything. But, then, Antonio Gibson had that touchdown that got Washington to 34, and I was like, yep, game's over now. So, yeah, that's something that, in my opinion, changed the game completely.
Yeah, I think Gibson did too, because I think that was the one where he waved, and he basically said the game was over after that one. How about you, Warpath?
I'm like with Kenny, that interception, man, my heart sank, and then like jubilation. Then what the defense did, they were inspired by what Terry did, and they only gave up 3. So I think it was a twofold thing right there. And y'all got to think about this. This man is the best wide receiver this team has drafted since maybe Gary Clark. And if you want to go farther back, James Arthur Monk. You go back and you look at it. Some of the piss poor wide receivers we've had, soft Devin Thomas, Michael Westbrook, who's beaten up the best player on offense, and all these cats. I looked at Desmond Howard was one of these guys, and he is this dude. I'm just in awe of what he is. He is blue collar as it gets. He's earned that C, man. And that is, I want people to put that rather than one of his great catches. I want people to put that on his highlight reel. I really do, to what he did, because he gave maximum effort. Like Deadpool said, just give that maximum effort. And, it's got to be Terry's play, 110%.
Yeah. I'm surprised you guys didn't say the fake punt by Mike McCarthy. It looked like he was smashing watermelons all weekend and now worried about a football game. I love that fake punt. I couldn't believe he did the fake punt. Red, I couldn't believe Mike McCarthy called that fake punt. I was so happy when he called it. I was like, he just gave the game away. But I have breaking news. Shout out to Pedro Smith. He just sent it to me on Twitter. He says Jason Wright did confirm to those of us who were on call with him today that Washington football team will remain through next season. So, Kenny, I'll get your take on that first.
I mean, you know, I'm on board. You know, as long as we winning, everybody gonna be supporting the Washington football team or the Washington no names. Call it what you want. As long as we win, people will get behind it, man. I couldn't wait to put this hat on and walk in the grocery store when we beat Dallas. You know, I ain't even want none. I think I just wanted a Red Bull. I could have got that from the gas station. I wanted the grocery store. I wanted everybody to see the Washington football team. So yeah, I'm with it, man. As long as we keep winning, who cares?
Yeah, yes, sir. I feel. I said during the summertime, I was like, I don't care what the name is. As long as we start winning football games, that's all I care about.
That's right.
How about you, Oscar?
Yeah, I'm on board as well. It doesn't matter. You know what's in a name? What's the point of a name? What's in a name? You know, a name doesn't get you anywhere. As long as the team wins games, that's all that matters.
Right, that's facts. I mean, we've had, you know, Washington Redskins for years, and we've been pretty bad for the last Dan Snyder era. We've been pretty bad. Haven't made it to the NFC championships since 1991 or something like that. So it's been a long time. So I personally I don't hate that we don't have a real nickname, but you know, I'm getting the gear and we're winning games. So how about you, Warpath?
No, I'm not a Washington football team fan. I'd rather be called the Washington Dallas Daddies after we didn't pulled out the brooms on their butts. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, it's all about winning games. And Ready Red, you can't call us daddy now. But you know, I think that I don't think this is permanent, but I want them to get it right. That's the key thing. How many things have they done wrong over the last 20 some odd years? You can even go back to Jack Kent Cook and when free agency became big. How many things have they done wrong since Joe Gibbs left the first time? Think about that. I want them to get this right. If it takes 2 years, if it takes 3 years, get it right. That's the key thing. In winning over everything, but number two, please get it right. Something that we all can be proud of if it does change. But Washington football, yeah, as long as the colors don't change, I could give a crap less because hey, it's a unique scheme. I love it. But you can call us no names all you want to. As long as we win the games and hitting you in the mouth, that's all I could care about.
Right. Shout out to Jason Wright. Shout out to Chris Carter. He is a new channel member. Shout out to Chris Carter. So we'll get to. I see a lot of people in the comment section asking, you know, about the NFC East race, and you know, so I'll ask the question: Do you think we're going to win the NFC East? How many wins do you think is going to take to win the NFC East? And then our remaining schedule right now, I think it's like the 23rd toughest schedule. So our schedule is a lot of teams that are under 500. We got the Niners are under 500. The Panthers are under 500. The Eagles are under 500. Who else is on the schedule? I can't remember. I think the Panthers. I think I already said the Panthers.
49ers.
The 49ers are under 500. Yeah. So our schedule is kind of. Yeah, Seattle is good. So they're the only two good teams there. I'm not gonna say the other teams are bad. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to other teams, but the only two legitimate teams are the Steelers and the Seahawks right now. Mm-hmm. So you look at the Cowboys schedule. Their schedule is pretty easy. The Giants schedule is brutal. They got to play the Ravens. They got to play the Seahawks next, and then you look at the Eagles. They just got their butts kicked by the Seahawks. They got to play some really, really good teams. They got to play the Packers with Aaron Rodgers next. So I want you guys to let me know if you guys think we're going to win the NFC East and what the record would be to finish up. And what games do you think we're going to win, the remaining games? And I'll let you go first, Kenny.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I feel like we the best team in the NFC East, even though we did lose to the Giants. I feel like the first game we gave it away. When Ron went for two and it's come back to haunt us. I also feel that we're better than Philly, so I know we're going to take them out. I'm just worried about this Pittsburgh game and I'm worried about the Seattle game. But if we could somehow get 3 out of these next 5 games, well, we walking in there. We might can rest some guys when we play Philly at the end of the year.
Yeah, we can rest our guys when they got Jalen Hurts in there. You know?
Yeah. He all right. He ain't like that. Like I watched him at Oklahoma. He all right. You know, I trust Ron. I am gonna be honest. All these years, all these different coaches, I really, really can look this man in the eye and be like, I kind of trust him. He be lying a little bit, but I see what he's doing. Like everything's just like an aha moment, like he said, an aha moment. You see why they drafted Gibson. Aha. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to trust him, man.
Yeah, and Ron, we trust. It was tough in the beginning, so I know we got to do it. We got to make an upset. We got to make an upset happen. I don't know which game is going to happen, but we got to beat one of the tougher teams. And how about you, Oscar?
So I think Washington has a chance to beat Philly, beat San Fran, and beat the Panthers. However, I don't trust Washington for one reason only. They can never have, when they have momentum, I think they get too hard. They let it go to their heads, and they have a letdown. So, I don't think, they're going to win the division. I think 6 wins, and the Giants game, is going to come back to haunt Washington because, that really we really could have we really could have owned the division by now, but. I don't think we're going to win the division. I think 6 wins because one of those 3 final teams are probably, could be upsetting Washington. So, that's my take on it.
Right. Yeah. I think 6 as well. You look at Daniel Jones, he's out. Colt McCoy is in now. We already know how Colt McCoy is. He's made of glass. So it looks like the Giants are going down, whereas the Eagles they're done. They're cooked. So I think 6 does it too. How about you, Warpath?
Everything's trending in our favor to win the NFC East, as unfortunate as that actually sounds this day and age, but I'll take it. You look at some of these games, I'm dare not pick any of these games because it always seems like that's where the JFK reference came from last night. We can go and beat a Seattle Seahawks team and then get the brakes beat off of us by Carolina. I still think at the end of the day, this team is getting better because we thought, like a lot of people said, we might see it change around late November, December. That's when Ron's team seemed to get stronger. But I still think it's a little bit of fool's gold. I really do. This Pittsburgh game will be a good barometer, I think, whether you win or lose. I think how you play in this game is going to be indicative if you win the division. Because if you look at all the NFC East, they've got funeral home visitor Colt McCoy at starting quarterback. They've got really the pandemic is hitting Doug Peterson really hard because he just wants to get fired so he can collect the check. And Dallas, they're smashing watermelons. They don't know how to play football anymore. So, I mean, there's a lot of issues. And like Kenny said, Ron be lying, and I can say this, it's the Latino in us because we got these eyes that's just like, hey, we just going to tell you, we're going to sell you a mixed bag of anything. Ron's trying to sell flood cars in the nation's capital where they detect BS all the time. So we're going to get it checked out. But, like I said, his message has been consistent with his players and his coaches, not with the media, who he's not accountable to. He just has to sit there and ask questions. Look at what Bill Belichick does. Does he ever give them a straight answer? Look at Greg Popovich. Does he give them a straight answer? Doesn't happen. The greats don't do it. And I think Ron, I'm not saying he's great, but that's something he needs to learn is you just need to throw them something and let them chew on it.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes Ron, he told us, actually a lot of times he told us too much. He did have mixed messages. He had the mixed messages. He didn't call timeouts in the beginning. Gave the pop quiz to Haskins. Didn't go for the extra point. His explanation for the extra point was iffy because he was like, oh, when we're on the road, we go for the extra point. But then again, there was no fans in the stands, so it's kind of different elements. So, but that, like you said, Kenny, I think unfortunately it might come back to haunt us. And we do have a Giants fan in here, the Meat Church, which is a very interesting name. Thank you for the donation. It says Giants fan here. You need 7 wins, and we need 6 extra points. Question mark. Yeah, I mean, I think no. Well, Giants fan, I think 6 wins gets it. And you could be right. It could be 7, but I think it's going to be 6. I think with Colt McCoy, you're definitely losing to the Seahawks. You guys have the Ravens on your schedule, so you're losing to the Ravens. So that's 2 L's right there. And the Cowboys, I'm not going to sleep on the Cowboys. They might fool around and beat the Giants. I think they still have a little bit of juice. I might sound crazy and delusional, but I think the Cowboys might have a little bit of juice, enough juice to beat the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Giants. I'll say that because they still
Giants also have the Browns.
Yeah, the Giants have the Browns, so that's a loss right there. So that's 3 losses right there. So they already have 7 losses just like us. So that's 3 Browns, Ravens, and Seahawks. So that's 3 automatic losses right there for the Giants right there. Abel Ambrosio, he's a channel member as well. Thank you for the donation. He said, "How would you grade Scott Turner's play calls?" And Kenny, I'll let you go first.
That game right there, I give him an A plus, matter of fact, because he established the run. He brought out the trick plays. I loved it. I loved it, man. I would say an A, and I'm not a Scott Turner guy, but I'm starting to get on board now. You know what I mean? He's making me a believer. So we'll see these next few games if he can string some things together and things just look good. And I'm like, okay, we might have found our guy.
Yeah, I was tough on Scott. I'm still tough on Scott, but he's definitely starting to win me over. How about you? How about you, Alter?
Yeah, I give him an A for this game, because he was creative. I liked his plays. Can he string what everyone is saying? Can he string that together to make it a complete season? We'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's getting better and better each game. A lot better. Trick plays, more confident. How about you, Warpath? The Russian judge on the Warpath.
Damn it! I knew you gonna do that to me. I give him a B. I like what he did. He took advantage of his weapon, his main weapon, his best offensive weapon in Logan Thomas. I'm joking, but Scott's done better. I'm giving him a C- so far for the year. He kind of up from that D that I gave him last month. So he's coming into himself. I'm starting to see less hemorrhaging and everything. I guess they got the fluid off the brain with him and his play calling, doing a whole lot better now. So I think he did good. I give him a B. I think there's still some kinks that need to work out. Some of those third down, I think they could have had some more of those third down. If he had 80% on third down, I would have gave him an A. But I'll give him a B, maybe a B plus.
Is it a B for the season or just a?
Oh B? God, no, it's a C. It's a C for the season so far. I'm looking at the full body of work.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gotten better since they made the quarterback change. I think that's what he really wanted the most. He was probably telling Ron. I got a feeling he was like, Ron, we got to make a quarterback change. No knock on Dwayne because I like Dwayne, but I think Scott was probably one of the main guys telling Ron to make the quarterback change. But he has gotten better since they made a quarterback change. He just has to run the football. We've been begging him to run the football. We're still one of the bottom 5 teams in running the football, I think, with yardage, even though Gibson went crazy. And, I hate to be a negative Nancy. I heard they were calling you a negative Nancy the other night on the Warpath, but, they were against bad teams, the Cowboys, the running the game, and the Bengals are a bad run defense. So we got to show up against the Steelers. We got to do it against a legitimate defense. I am interested to see Scott call plays against this tough defense in the Steelers. I give the Steelers credit. They're undefeated. They do have a legit defense. So I'm really intrigued to see this matchup with Scott Turner against the Steelers. Merle Garrett, thank you for the donation. He says Washington gets 7 wins in the division. Yeah, I think we get 6. I think we get 6 and win. I think we get 6 and win it. That's I don't know about 7, but I see 6. I see 6 for sure. So my next question was, a lot of people are torn between winning games and losing games. I remember a lot of people wanted to tank and whatnot when we lost to, I think, the Ravens, or we lost to the Giants twice. Some people wanted to tank and whatnot, but I want to get you guys' take on, would you rather win the NFC East, or would you rather be 5-11 and lose the NFC East, or 6-10 and lose the NFC East? Somehow the Giants become 7-9 and you fall, because right now we're number 8. in the draft order. So, you got Trevor Lawrence is going number 1, Justin Fields probably number 2. After that is probably Zach Wilson, or Trey Lance. So Trey Lance or Zach Wilson, they might be there at number 8. If it was up to you, Kenny, if you wanted to get that quarterback of the future, you say you get Trey Lance or Zach, and 2 to 3 years from now we're going to be a perennial playoff team, or would you get this win and we're going to be the 21st pick in the draft and you still have Alex, and then you got to draft a quarterback in the second round, and he'll sit behind Alex? Which one would you rather do?
I definitely would win the division. Everything is just better, being a winner. I don't believe in tanking, especially in the position we are now. Everything's just better. I don't know about you guys, but when my team wins, our team wins, I'm happy to go to work. I'm buying the whole family Chipotle. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just happy. I'm just happy. So I like winning. We not used to this. I wanted to be like the old days, RFK, when it was shaking. We need to bring winning back to the city. So I don't want to tank. Who's to say that Fields or one of those guys, they might not do well in the NFL? You know what they say about Ohio State quarterbacks. Who's to say that? Who's to say we can't find somebody in the 3rd round or 4th round that's just as good as the 1st round? Terry McLaurin. You know what I mean? So I'm with the mindset of winning. I just want to win every game, period.
That's big facts. I mean, we've done well in the 3rd round, so we might as well go ahead and draft a quarterback in the 3rd round rather than DC Bay, my guy. He says it would be nice to win the division, but in my heart, he wants us to be in that top 10. I get it. I completely get both sides. You can get Justin Fields, but like you said, he's an Ohio State quarterback, so I don't know if we want to go that route. Zach Wilson could be really good at number 8, so who knows? I see some people saying tank. How about you, Oscar?
That's a tough question to answer, Ed. To be honest, because I like to see Washington win after, because as a kid growing up, I was like, oh, I'm a Washington fan. They're like, oh my God, they're like, they would always like tease me. Everyone would tease me. Switch to the Cowboys, switch to this team. My dad is a Steelers fan. He's like, just go back, go to the Steelers. But at the same time, we also, Washington needs to look towards the future. Because we know that Alex Smith isn't it. He's not going to be around 2 or 3 more years. So winning would be great, but also I think that this is a quarterback deep class, that if we can find a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round, take him and have him develop, like I said earlier. So, that's my thoughts on the situation or on the question.
Yeah, we appreciate you for being loyal, man. I know it's tough. The Steelers, they've been winning every year, trying to take you away. And, a lot of people have hopped over to the Ravens. And I think the Washington fans that hopped over to the Ravens have jinxed the Ravens, because the Ravens look terrible this year. So, but yeah, I think, we should definitely try to win some games. How about you, Warpath?
So this is one of my dear friends right here. If you can see him, his name is Herman. And he went off one time and he said, simple words, you play to win the game. That's what you do, right? That's what you get paid for. You play to win the game. Tanking is some of the corniest crap ever. It's stupid. I don't know anybody that said you should just smack them right in the face. Say we should tank. No, don't tank, you win. If you lose in the process, that's like me. That's like saying we're going to go get players' chips. That's all you're getting. You're getting players' chips for the draft. You look at it. Russell Wilson, 3rd round pick. Tom Brady, 6th round pick. Drew Brees, what was he, like a 2nd round pick or something like that? 3rd round. So these guys who will probably be in the Hall of Fame, you can find your Hall of Fame quarterback. You can find functional in the later round, in the late 1st round, in the mid 1st round. What, Mahomes was like 10 or something, right? Was he 10 or 15 or something like that? Lamar, they found him, although he's struggling this year. They found him at the end of the draft, at the end of the 1st round. So, like you say, everything that glitters isn't gold. You go out there, you put your best effort forward. The draft at the end of the day is nothing but a crapshoot. Nothing says sunshine is going to be great here. Nothing says that Justin Fields is going to break the Ohio State the Ohio State curse, and nothing says Trey Lance is going to be the guy. And I love Zach Wilson. Nothing says he's going to put down the coffee up there at BYU and drink that hard liquor in the NFL. Nothing says that. And if y'all know BYU, you get the reference. But you play to win the game, man. That's all it is. Tanking is stupid. It's corny.
Even though we did tank and get Chase Young, we
didn't tank. We sucked, man. we were just bad.
That is true.
Yeah,
we
were bad.
Look, that Chase Young Bowl against the Giants, we could have won that game. We could have won that game.
I was there. I saw us, man. Lord have mercy. They were running on us like they was going to the bathroom at halftime. I swear it was bad.
I see some people talking about Troy Apke. Troy Apke's played better. They're calling him trashy. I did call him trashy. Shout out to DCA. He said bring out the trash can on Troy Apke, but he did make a big play. We were already up by 30 points, but he did make a big stop on that. I see him face for it. He did make a stop. He did something. Apke found trashy or Apke. He did something. 30 full fan all day. He's a channel member. Shout out to him. Make sure you guys sub him up. He is a Washington YouTuber as well. He says soft teams tank and have a loser's mentality. Rich Heigl said, we need a win to build a culture. Draft is always a bit of a gamble. That is very true. Big boy diehard fan Walker. He's a channel member as well. We're better at finding later round players and for quarterback book out of Notre Dame. Yeah, I'll check him out. I haven't been able to really watch him yet. I saw somebody else say Jamie Newman. So I am going to start doing, some more. Merle Garrett, he's a channel member as well. He said Jamie Newman. I'm pretty busy on Saturdays, but I'm going to try to start watching some college football. I know the season's almost over already, but I'm definitely going to try to start watching some film. Thomas Forsyth, thank you for the donation. He says, I might be naive, but I don't think Haskins is done here. I think he had a reality check by being benched. We all know Ron is old school with a K. Thank you for the donation once again. Yeah, I did want to ask you guys, what did you guys make of the play where Alex Smith he scampered for about 4 or 5 yards? He looked pretty mobile right there. And then guess who came up and helped him up? It was Dwayne Haskins. So how did you guys feel? Do you guys make anything out of that play? Is that a play where you just don't care about? Or does it show you progression of Dwayne, some maturity growth in Dwayne Haskins? And how about you, Kenny?
I feel like by him being benched and the things he's going through now, maybe it humbled him. Sometimes it takes growing pains and somebody to be like, hey, you know what I mean? Sit down somewhere, and then you get the picture, you know what I mean? Sometimes it takes a mistake and you learn from it, you know what I mean? So hopefully, he's more humble now. He's not talking about his stats when you lose the game, you know what I mean? I still can't believe he did that. But it could be other things why he was benched that we don't know about, because Ron, he ain't going to tell us nothing at all. He ain't going to tell us nothing. So hopefully, we shall see. We shall see.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Yeah, we're trying to keep everything in-house. How about you, Austin?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, he hasn't said it, he hasn't, other than after the whole entire hotel situation, I mean, has he, said or done anything? That's the number one question, And I think, getting benched and, watching Alex Smith and watching Kyle Allen, I think he's learning, maybe, taking mental notes, not just holding that physical clipboard and getting himself familiarized with the playbook, but also, having a mental clipboard and like, okay, Alex Smith is doing this, on, and off the field. So, we're going to have to wait and see if, when and if he gets the chance to start again, if it this time off, inspired him to do better.
Yeah, definitely. We do want to see him on the sideline holding the clipboard or the little blue iPad or whatever they have nowadays. We do want to see more of that. What do you feel about the situation, Warpath?
Oh gosh, do you have to retweet it though? That's the only thing. I'm gonna nitpick that. That still kind of rings like a little bit of are you doing this because you wanted to, or you had an opportunity? But other than that, I don't. I'm starting to think his time might not be over in Washington. I got to see it though. I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. You can paint the picture for me and everything like that. It's like what your parents always told you. You got to finish the vegetables on your plate. And I got to see you eat them, not throw them under the table and feed them to the dog. I want to see you eat them. And that's what I want to see him do, is show me those, apply these skills that you're learning, and show him that Alex ain't no dud. Because there's two products that were in the NFL. One is probably the best quarterback we've seen in over a decade. And, so you could be that guy with your talent, because we know he's got a rocket arm. He's just got to develop. It's interesting on Pro Football Focus. He was when he got drafted, they did the spray chart of him. He was the quarterback that had the most passes completed behind the line of scrimmage. So I got to see him step up a little bit, but I don't think he's done yet. That might have been a little bit off on a tangent, but I'm waiting to see him. I'm rooting for him as always, but you got to show me, brother.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, maybe there's a possibility the league doesn't mess up. There's a possibility. I'm not gonna throw the towel in on Dwayne Haskins. There were some things after he did get benched that we all didn't like, the whole sickness thing, and then the whole bringing somebody into the hotel with, breaking the virus protocols. So there were definitely some questionable things he did after being benched that I didn't like. But I'm still not giving up on him. I personally don't think he's going to be on the roster next year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Dwayne Haskins coming up. And then I just made a video about surprise players. What players have surprised you guys that you didn't think was going to step up big time? We got some starters that were second string guys. We had Cornelius Lucas step up, and Cameron Curl has been a 7th round gem. So Kenny, who's been a surprise player for this year?
Honestly, just to see Alex come back from that injury and play as well as he did, I still can't believe it, because like I said before, when they put him in the game, I said, oh my God, we are in trouble. And then he started making plays, and then I couldn't even eat my food because I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. I was just like, wow, okay, we might have something here. But then he ended up throwing picks. I think it was the Giants game. But I still, I seen something there. It was enough to be like, okay, I want to see more. And he showed me more. Then he showed me more. Now I'm like, okay, all right, he can really do this thing. I'm getting behind him. He's like that underdog. And you watching the movie and you be like, come on, let's root for Rudy. You know what I mean? So yeah, Alex and the offensive line, no one's really talked about that. I think they've been playing pretty well. He doesn't get sacked that much, you know what I mean? He gets a lot of time in the pocket, So the offensive line, and definitely Alex Smith.
Yeah, the offensive line has improved. They have improved. The first couple of games were shaky, and then they definitely have helped keep Alex upright. How about you, Oscar?
Ronald Darby. And I know that he, got burnt a couple of times, but he's a surprise. He was getting burnt in Philadelphia. I don't know. I didn't keep up with when he played in Buffalo, but he was getting burnt in Philadelphia a lot. Kept on getting injured, and when we signed him, I was like, oh man, we're getting an injury-prone guy on the roster. But he's been a surprise, knocking balls away and stuff like that. So I'm very surprised by Ronald Darby's play, even though he's gotten burnt a few times. But very good surprise for Washington for what we need him to do.
Yeah, Darby has been a good surprise. I mean, he didn't play well on Thanksgiving, but for him to come from a bad Eagles team, or being burnt on the Eagles like he did, and come up here and step up, and he played really good in that Bengals game. He shut down T. Higgins, almost had an interception on Burrow. So I like what I've seen from Darby. How about you, Warpath?
I like what I've seen out of the Midas touch, Tim Settle. Whenever he goes in, it seems like something good happens on defense. He has been. We know he had the talent to do it, but he has been pretty much lights out when he goes out there and play. I mean, he has made us kind of forget about Jonathan Allen like he's playing more of a first round level than John Allen is. Deron Payne, he has his hits and misses. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I think Wes Schweitzer moving over to the left guard spot. Remember, he was at that right guard spot when Brandon got hurt. But then Wes Martin was inept, so they had to move him inside, and he fits in perfectly right there. So I think those two cats right there have been the biggest surprise for me and what they've done to add stability to both areas in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Tim Settle's been awesome. 5 sacks on the year. I see somebody comment Penguin. He does that penguin dance after he gets a sack. He's been huge on third downs, and he does get back there more than Deron and more than John Allen. John Allen, they're not really pass rushers per se. And when Matty Ioannidis went down, I was like, man, it's gonna be tough. But Tim Settle, he's picked up the slack for us big time. I think Logan Thomas has kind of been a surprise too. You know, him. I'm not gonna say it's a surprise that he threw a nice pass because he was a quarterback in college. But he's been a little bit better than what I thought he was going to be. I wasn't expecting much out of him, but he's been playing pretty well. Cornelius Lucas, too, he's been a big help. Schweitzer's been a huge help. Offensive line has been big for us. HTTR Moco Land is at Mo County. He says Alex Smith is a real nicka coming back. My quarterback. Now I know Alex Smith would laugh if he saw that statement, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Alex Smith. He's playing well. He is. I got to give him to it. And then I'll ask you guys this quick question. I want you guys to rank the quarterbacks in the NFC East right now. Active quarterbacks that are on injured reserve. You know, we got to talk about, you know, from Alex to Carson to Danny. I guess Colt McCoy because Danny might be put on IR. And Andy Dalton. So, Kenny, you can go first.
Alex, number one, off the top. Got to go with Alex. Behind him, Daniel Jones. Like it or not, even though he fumbles sometimes, the kid pretty accurate and he uses legs as weapons. But since he's not starting, you know, right now, so do we really count him? We got to say Colt McCoy, but we'll put him at the end of the pack. So after Alex, I would have to go with Andy Dalton, Carson Wentz, Colt McCoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, Carson's playing so bad to the point where Carson might be worse than Colt McCoy. I mean, He leads the league in interceptions, leads the league in quarterback fumbles. I mean, Carson's been awful. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Cole. How about you, Oscar?
So I'll do mine. I like to do from bottom to top. So bottom for me is Carson Wentz. You know, he's been actually the turnover machine for Philadelphia. I guess Colt McCoy, since he's starting for the Giants right now. Andy Dalton, you know, I think, you know, Dallas kind of overhyped him as the best backup in the league. So, you know, and I really don't see it. It's probably because he was with the Bengals that they, you know, and what he did with the Bengals organization that they thought that, people are going to hate me for saying this, but I think Daniel Jones is better than Alex Smith. Even though Alex Smith, you know, has a winning record as a whole, I just think Daniel Jones is getting better. He has limited the turnovers. So I think that Daniel Jones is a little bit better than Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm. No, I know that the chat's not gonna be happy about you with that one, but you know, Danny, I can see where you say that, but Danny, he just turns the ball over too much. He just turns the ball, and Alex has turned the ball over too. But I think time will tell when we you know, whoever wins this division probably will have the best quarterback in the NFC East, and all the quarterbacks are not top 15 quarterbacks at all. But Alex probably is number one in my opinion. Danny might be number two if he's healthy. Then I know Carson is the worst at all. Then Andy might be a little bit better than Danny, but we'll see how this shakes out. How do you feel, Warpath?
Well, I'm just all these quarterbacks gonna be brought to you by this trash bag because they're all garbage right now for the most part. But I guess if Daniel Jones was there, if he was starting next week, I would put him probably at 2. But since he's not, Colt McCoy is at 4. The emasculated man himself, Carson Wentz, is at 3, and Boo Boo Pants, Andy Dalton is at 2, and then Titanium Man, I Am Titanium is number 1. Go buy your stock in that metal. I'm telling you, brothers, y'all gonna do it. Y'all, you make a fortune. I believe.
Yeah, Titanium Man. I don't know if he's got vibranium in the leg now, but
yeah.
Under.
That's when we play Carolina.
King of the North, thank you for the donation. He says, "Do y'all think the Steelers game moved to Monday Night Football helps or hurts us?" I was going to ask you guys that too. I'm going to ask you guys that way earlier in the stream. We need them to have a bad game to stand a chance. I think that's less likely on Monday Night Football. Yeah, Kenny, you can go first.
Man, I don't wish ill will on anybody, but I hope the Ravens, you know what I mean, be on some old school stuff, man. We need just one, like
you need a Boston?
Yeah, we need. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
we had to send, another Bostic. I hope they got somebody like Bostic, to do his thing under the table. You know what I mean? Through the back door. We need
okay, Greg Williams.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, very, very scary, bro. Like very scary, but excited because what if we pull this off? My God. Oh my God. What if we pull this off? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be crazy. It would be a movie story for Alex beating the Steelers on Monday night evening football. I don't even call it
night.
Monday evening, Monday matinee football. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Ravens have a ball stick or anything like that. But yeah, we definitely got it. We got our work cut out for us against the Steelers. What do you think about this question, Oscar? So King of the North said, "Do y'all think the Steelers game being moved to Monday Night Football helps or hurts?" We are going to have a short week against San Fran the next. I know a lot of people are upset about that because we were supposed to have a regular week of football leading up to the Niners game. Now we're going to have a short week. And I think we have to travel to Arizona now.
Yeah.
But I mean, California's far anyway, so it was going to be a far plane ride. Whatever happened, the Niners are now in Arizona. Do you think it being moved to Monday evening football at 5? Do you think it hurts Washington, especially with our history on Monday nights or evenings or whatever?
I don't want to get into the hype right now, and I apologize that I left the stream. Just that I didn't notice that my computer wasn't plugged in. But look, I don't want to get into the hype because Washington is historically bad in prime time, and I had Washington lose against Dallas, and they were a pleasant surprise. So I guess my answer is we're gonna have to wait and see if we're good enough on Monday evening football or whatever they're calling it now. So I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm torn 50-50 on that answer. So
yeah, I feel you got to wait and see because we did have a bye. We do have more of a break. We haven't played since Thursday. I kind of don't like it either. I don't like it because I hate when we have the layoffs. I feel like we need that momentum to just keep playing because when we beat the Cowboys the first time, I wanted us to play in like the next 3 days because we were all hyped after beating the Cowboys 25-3, and we just had that long lull of a bye week until we played the Giants, and we just came out kind of, I don't know, lazy or what. We had 5 turnovers. Couldn't catch the ball. We couldn't catch the ball. We fumbled the ball. Couldn't pick up a fumble off the ground. Logan Thomas, that was terrible. And then Isaiah Wright muffs the punt, and we're down 20-0. So I could see it working both ways. Hopefully, it works in our favor. How about you, Warpath?
You know what? It's like I said before, the curse has got to break somehow, right? I don't think that this matters because you're still however you think about it, we're catching Pittsburgh on a short week still. They play tomorrow, and it's still going to be like a Thursday night game for them that they're prepping for. It's not Monday for us. We can treat it like Sunday. We've got legitimately 2 business weeks to prepare for Pittsburgh. Everything you should be able to see. You can sit at home tomorrow and watch them since they're not letting you in the facility. Learn what they're doing. I think that it's not Monday Night Football. It's happy hour football, right? You can go to the bar. You can get them half-price drinks, watch the team, wear a mask, whatever you got to do. And I think, why? Like, Russ says, why not us, man? I think this might be an opportunity for it. It might be crazy. It might be on something, but this may be an opportunity that we can exploit. It's just how we do it. Do you want to seize the moment, or are you just going to sit on your hands and be like, oh, well, we beat Dallas?
Right. Yeah. I like the happy hour football. I like that. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough, whether the games on Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Still is going to be a tough matchup. They're going to be ready to play. And yes, you're right. They do have a short week, so it's a disadvantage for them. Honestly, I really feel like they should just make the Ravens forfeit, and just move on. But they really want to play this game. We'll see what RG3 does. I highly doubt RG3 has a good game. Maybe he can run around for like 50 yards and do something crazy, some kind of miracle. But I highly doubt that happens. Abel Ambrosio, thank you for the donation once again. He says, "Is Cameron Curl a starter for next year?" This brings me to another question as well. I know a lot of people were down on Landon Collins. Has the emergence of Cameron Curl, does that make Landon Collins expendable in the offseason? I know his contract is really, really, really hard to get rid of, because I know if we release some Warpath, you probably know the numbers with the cap space and whatnot. I don't know what the dead money would be if we ended up cutting Landon Collins or even trading Landon Collins. But with Cameron Curl, how about you, Kenny? What do you think? If Cameron Curl keeps balling, what would you do with Landon Collins next year? Would you keep him on the roster?
I like Landon Collins, but it's not about who I like, man. It's, Cameron Curl, he's playing better than Landon Collins, and he's a whole lot cheaper. So give me a 3rd round pick. Bye, Landon. See you. Straight up.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. How about you, Oscar?
I like it just for the veteran presence in the room. Maybe not have him start, but maybe even if he's going to be unhappy about it, just have him as a backup if Cameron shows him up the rest of the season at the beginning of next year. So I say keep him just for the veteran to have that veteran presence. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like Landon Collins. A lot of people are down on him. I know he was leading the league in missed tackles. We're not expecting him to be a coverage linebacker, but when you're missing tackles, when that's supposed to be the best thing that you do is tackle. And, I'm really happy they did not give him that 21. I'm really happy they didn't give him that, because that would have been another tarnished number right there. But, some people are saying move him to linebacker. We'll see if he can make that transition. It's not as easy as you think. But I think he definitely will be better at linebacker. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, you could throw him out there at linebacker, but the numbers, if I'm reading this right on Over the Cap, if you cut him after June 1, you might save you some money. And you might save some cash. It might be like $9.2 million in dead money, but you save about $8 million off of that. So, and then after that, it'll drop down even more from there. So, if you think you can make him into like one of those, they call it the rover sometimes. If you can turn him into like a rover or something like that, maybe that'd be great. But Cameron Curl, I thought when we first saw him, I thought I saw flashes of Chris Horton against the Saints back in 2008. And that kind of like that got me a little afraid. And then I started saying, like, no, this cat's for real. And if you go back and look at his draft tape, his draft profile, he probably could have came back to Arkansas and probably would have been either a a second day pick coming out of college. So I think that we got him for a steal in the later round, and what was it, the 7th round or something like that. So I like Cameron, man. We got some bang for our buck, and I like the bargain shop, brother. So I think if you whatever you can do with Landon, if you can make it work at linebacker. But I think Cameron Curl is solidifying himself, and really he's more of a free safety than a strong safety, and he's dominating it. So
yeah, that man can tackle. The way he hit Zeke. He didn't force Zeke to. I think Zeke just fumbled on his own, honestly. Zeke's stealing money from the Cowboys. Shout out to Zeke. I think we've held Zeke to 50 yards over the 2 games that we played him. He's only got like 60 yards or something like that. So that's really good. But Cameron Curl is a big hitter. He's better in coverage than Landon. It's not harder to be better in coverage than Landon, but Cameron Curl has stepped up huge, big time for us. So I do want to ask about the defensive line. Chase Young, a couple weeks ago, people were pissed off at Chase Young for the Lions roughing the passer hit. There were people in my comment section on my videos calling him, a bust and saying, we should have taken Justin Herbert. We should have taken Tua Tagovailoa, who's benched now for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and some other quarterbacks in the draft. So how do you guys feel about Chase, and what's his grade? Has he lived up to the hype so far through the first 11 games for you guys? How about you, Kenny?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. If you know football, people that know, he impacts the game. Other people are getting sacks because of him. Go back and watch the film. He's a rookie getting triple team. A rookie. Let that sink in. A rookie. They game planning for him right now. Like the league know what we got. You know what I mean? If I had to redo the draft right now, I still would take Chase Young over Burrow right now. Because guess what? Who's to say Burrow will fit Scott Turner's scheme? Then we're going to be like, dang, we should have took Chase Young. How's the Giants feeling with Andrew Thomas? Remember him? Ain't he benched too? Yeah, Chase Young.
Yeah, Thomas got benched. He's starting now, but he's been nowhere near as good as Chase Young. Nowhere near. I think he's given up like 5 or 6 sacks already on the season. Burrow is hurt. I mean, the Bengals, they can't protect him. He's hurt, so who knows what he's going to be when he comes back. We don't know if he's going to be as mobile. But Chase Young, he's been the real deal. He's got 4 sacks. I love what I saw from him on the sideline, with him being hyped and going crazy. He got the sack on Dalton. The big hit on Burrow, the forced fumble. I love what I'm seeing from Chase. I think he's getting better each game. He made some mistakes. He owned up to the mistake against the Lions with the Stafford roughing the passer. I love how he owned up to the mistake after the game, so he's getting better each game. How about you, Oscar?
Yeah, he's a disruptor. I mean, the stats aren't, all the stats. As long as he's back there, impact. Quarterbacks are feeling his impact, and that's all that matters. Sacks aren't all that matters. He just need, people just look at, sacks weren't even a thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Way back in the day. So, he's making an impact, and that's what's getting offensive lines and quarterbacks scared and trying to figure out how to stop him. So, he's doing a good job.
Right. Yeah, he's got 4 sacks on the season right now. Khalil Mack, I think, he only had 5.5 sacks. So I do see Chase finishing up with at least, I'm going to say 7. We got 5 games left. I think he can get 3 in the next 5 games. He might even get 4 or 5 in the next 5 games. Who knows? We play the Eagles. He should definitely get at least 1 or 2 Niners on Nick Mullins. He's going to be going up against Trent Williams, so that's going to be a good matchup, interesting matchup. Seahawks offensive line didn't look good either. So I could see Chase finishing up with at least 7 or 8 sacks on the season. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, I mean, he's a game changer. They're up game planning for him. They got 2 players on them, 3 players at one time, and Montez Sweat is one of the guys that's reaping the benefits of it. I said in the summertime, I think this is what is going to happen. You can see it, what he's done, how he prepares, and like you said, he apologized for the situation that happened in Detroit. He took ownership on that, and that's what you're looking for. So he's a professional, and he's elite talent, man. Just wait till he's able to break the double team. Once he learns this, gets a good offseason under him. Bro, he will be something nasty to handle even more than what he is now. I think he is just scratching the surface right now, and most people like Chase Young that we've had in Washington, this would be all we get out of him. And we say, hey, this is good for him. But I think we're going to see a lot more out of this cat. And like Kenny said, I would have took him any day of the week over Joe Burrow, because he has made this defense look a lot better than it did on paper.
Juice Alert, thank you for the donation. He says Chase Young will take the title as the best defensive player in the NFL at some point in his career. 100. McLaurin is the next Antonio Brown without the baggage. I do like that. I think he can be just as good as Antonio Brown was, or even better. Terry has his head on straight. That's the thing. You don't have to worry about any off the field issues like he did with Antonio Clown with freezing his feet. The helmet fiasco. I mean, numerous things with Antonio Clown. Christopher Messer, thank you for the donation. He says, y'all think we could beat a team like the Buccaneers in the wild card road? And Kenny, I'll let you go with that first. I did hear, I think it was Nick Wright on Fox Sports. He did say that if we get in the wild card, he said that if we match up against the Buccaneers, he said he did like Washington that matchup. But Kenny, I'll let you go first.
50-50, man. One game at a time. Any given Sunday too, as well, or Monday. I seen the Raiders lose to the Falcons, so you never know. I mean, it depends on a call might go our way, and or Chase might put Brady out and stick him. He's gone, and we win. Anything can happen. You just never know when it comes to football. That's why I think I love it so much. So why not? Possibly. I don't know.
How about you, Austin?
I'm at the same mentality. Anything. Football is anything can happen. Tom Brady isn't the same guy that he used to be. He is proving. Age is catching up to him. So I don't think the deep pass, is a concern for Washington. As long as, again, if we can get back there and disrupt his timing. Game, set, match, but it's 50-50 as well. You never know.
Yeah, but like Kenny said, one game at a time, and they're looking very far ahead. But if we do have that matchup, if history can repeat itself, when we did beat the Buccaneers in Tampa back in 2005, I know Chris Sims is way, way worse than Tom Brady, not even on the stratosphere of Tom Brady. But I don't want to get my hopes up and get too happy. But if something down the line does happen, the Buccaneers haven't looked good. That's all I'm gonna say. They have not looked good. That's all I'm gonna say. How about you, Warpath?
I mean, you think about it. 7-9 Seattle hosted 11-5 New Orleans in 2010, and what they do, they went out there. We got the Beastquake out of that. Any given Sunday, like everybody has said, it can happen, man. If you get a home game, maybe you might get a little bit of fans back in there if everything kind of cools down for the playoffs. But I really do think anything can happen with this, and we could probably beat a team like the Bucs. It just depends on. They got a lot of weapons, though. They got a lot of weapons, and Mike Evans is on that other side of that ball. And y'all remember the first time he ever played us, and I still remember stuff like that. So I think we could contend with them. Winning might be a little bit different, but we'll give them we could give them a game.
Yeah, I think it would be a good game for sure, and it would be a home game. Yep. That's the thing. No fans in the stands, but it would be a home game. So. I do want to do so. I usually do at the end of the season. I do who should stay, who should go, and who should get a second contract. But I ask you guys a few players. Who do you think should get a second contract, or should we let them leave at the end of the year? I know sometimes it's might be a little too early to do it, but I'll name 3 players who are going to be a free agent in 2021 after this year. Would you sign them to a second-year contract, or would you let them walk? The first player I'm going to say is Ryan Kerrigan. The second one is Brandon Sheriff. And then I'll say Dustin Hopkins is the third guy, and I'll add a fourth, Ronald Darby. So I'll let you go first, Kenny.
Ryan Kerrigan got to take a discount because with the emergence of Montez Sweat, Chase Young, bro, you want to stay here, you got to take a discount because they better than you, and they're younger, cheaper, faster, stronger. You know what I mean? And then we have you said Ronald Darby. Why not? I think he's having a solid year. He at first he was getting cooked. Now he got his feet under him. And he's doing well. Sheriff. It depends. What's that price tag? Like 16 mil, something like that?
Yeah.
It depends. When he's on the field, he's just too hurt for me though, too. But I don't know. I have to really, really think about it. I just trust Ron with that. You know what I mean? I'd like, look, Ron, I don't know what to do. What you want to do with him? And who was the fourth player? I'm sorry, Ed.
Dustin Hopkins.
Oh, bye, Felicia. See ya.
How about you, Oscar?
So Sheriff, that's decision. I'm not gonna. I feel like that's a coaching decision. Dustin Hopkins, get him in a dump truck and throw him in a dumpster. Ryan Kerrigan. That's hard to say because I think he wants to stay a Washington, football player for life, but there was rumors swirling that he wanted to go because he wasn't getting enough playing time. So it depends on him and if he wants to take a pay cut. And then Darby, I think he should stay.
Darby, yeah, I would for sure keep Darby. It depends on how much money he wants, and I don't think he is gonna ask for a lot of money because he's had good. He's been hot. He's been hot and cold. I think he's been more hot than being cold, but the cold games, is gonna hurt his free agent stock. And shout out to DC Bay. He said Sid doesn't have the ball with the virus players. I mean, DC Bay, he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. But Dustin Hopkins, like you said, you got to put him in a dumpster. He's got to go. We got to find a different kicker for sure. Brandon Sheriff, I like Brandon Sheriff. A lot of people don't like Sheriff because he's injury prone. But I'm a Brandon Sheriff fan. I like Sheriff a lot. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, I have my things with Brandon Sheriff. I'm like, I don't want to pay $16 million for you to miss 5 games. That's the biggest thing. But you see he wins his battles when he's out there. I think this team is like 3-12 or 3-13 with him not in games. Ironically, one of those games was that win at Seattle a few years ago. Ryan Kerrigan, the same thing really. He can come back if he wants to, but you're gonna take a price cut, brother. Maybe about $3 million a year. Who else did you say on Darby? Yeah, I think you can give Darby an opportunity, give him a 2-year contract or something like that, because right now he's doing what he needs to do. And like you said, he was getting a little cooked at times, but we hadn't heard about him for about a month or so. So he's good. And then as far as Rusty Dusty goes, get him out of here, please. My God, he 50-50 Hopkins. That's what he is. Hopkins and Robbins. That's all it is right there. And he is just, God, get rid of him. Get it. Doink Rusty. You got to get rid of him, man. Bye.
Yeah, he's got to go. He can't even make extra points sometimes. He can't make a 30-yard field goal in a dome.
Nope.
So it's time. It's time for Dustin to go. Dustin has hurt us, man. Even previous years, we tied against the Bungles in London. That came back to haunt us that year. So Dustin, his stay is way overdue. He's way overdue. He's got to get out of here. I did want to ask about the wide receiver position. Who do you think anybody on this roster can emerge as the second guy to help out Terry McLaurin? We have Cam Sims, Steve Sims. I'm not going to say Steve Sims has been a disappointment, but injuries have kind of hurt. What I thought he was going to do. I think we all thought Steven Sims was going to have at least 700 yards on the season. I don't even think that's going to be possible for him to reach that unless he has some crazy games for the rest of the year. Isaiah Wright has stepped up a little bit. Dontrell Inman, he's old, but he's had maybe a solid half or two. Trying to think who else is on the roster. You got Robert Foster. Maybe if he gets some playing time, he might step up and play. Is there anybody on this roster that you think could emerge the wide receiver 2 spot where we would not have to address the wide receiver position in the draft or free agency? How about you, Kenny?
We'll see how the next few games go. Right now, I'm going to say no. The reason why is because can we just get a legitimate number 2 opposite Terry that we don't have to throw the ball to Terry every time? Or someone else that can do the same thing as Terry, just a little bit, man. Just I don't care if we have to spend a second round pick in the draft next year go get you a dog. We need a dog, you know. And I was hoping Cam Sims was that, you know, but I think he's like a number 3. You know what I mean? Like a possession type. Like I want someone that could separate quickly. I want somebody that will, you know, leave you in the dust like Tyreek Hill. Go find that person in the draft. Do your homework. Kyle Smith, they probably already know. They probably know. We need somebody like Tyreek Hill opposite Terry.
Mm-hmm. And somebody did bring up Gandy Golden. I'm sorry. Elliot Lavelle. He brought up AGG. Shout out to the freshman. He's a channel member. He says, "What position do y'all think we should address first, out of safety or linebacker?" I'm gonna get to that next. We'll answer that next. But like I agree with Cam. I like Cam Sims, but he's more like a 3 or 4, like you said. And I want to get your take on AGG. You know, we all thought he was the steal of the draft. Even when they drafted, ESPN said he still could be the steal of the draft. What are your thoughts on Antonio Gandy Golden? Do you still believe in him and possibly some way, somehow being a number 2 receiver for us in the future?
I honestly, I don't know. Where is he at? What's wrong with him? I like his highlights at Liberty. You know what I mean? But you know, who knows? You know, he's not on the field. We don't know. Is he hurt? You know what I mean? Like I said, his highlights look really, really good. But you know, put him on the field, Ron. What's going on? You know, he don't like to tell us nothing. Just like we don't know what's going on with Bryce Love. We just keep hearing his knee keep swelling up. You know what I mean? I don't know. Put him on the field so we can find out. Maybe they know. I don't know, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a hamstring injury. He's on injury reserve, and he's only played a few games so far. But he's a rookie. I think him not having a preseason hurt him. Him not having, you know, the scheduled normalcy or whatever normal schedule rookies would have, OTAs and things like that. You know, so I don't want to give up on AGG yet, but it's looking rough. It's only 1 year. It's only 1 year. How about you, Oscar?
So there's one guy we forgot to mention who is on injured reserve, and that's Calvin Harmon. And it's unfortunate that he got hurt because I think, to be honest, he could have been Washington's number 2. But as it goes for now in the future, because he's probably not going to be the same guy once he comes back from injury. So I think we should maybe find a wide receiver to sign him maybe to a 1-year deal, see how that guy does, and if Calvin Harmon is healthy, have him at the 3. At the wide receiver 3 position and see how he comes back from injury, because if he ultimately does better than if we sign someone at the 3 position, then I think he should be our 2 moving forward if he comes back stronger than ever. Yeah,
that was a good bringing up Calvin Harmon, because I actually did forget about him. With the ACL injury that hurt us. Because we definitely could have used him, because he was looking really, really good towards the end of the year last year. So I hope he bounces back. The wide receiver room is going to be very, very interesting next year. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, man. I thought Calvin Harmon would have been the guy if he hadn't got hurt. I'd like to bring a veteran in there. And not like Dontrell Inman veteran. I want somebody who's like established and doesn't run short of the line to gain and everything like that. I've been a big fan of Marvin Jones up there in Detroit. People said Allen Robinson, who's not too old, could be one. But I think if you can get one of those cats in here that can show these guys kind of how to be a professional and everything. Like, you don't need to show Terry that. And they give Terry some relief. You're not always looking at number 17, and you're kind of getting some pressure off of him. I'd love to see a veteran there. And as far as AGG goes, it's unfortunate that, his injury was his hamstring or something like that, that's giving him issues, is kind of hindering him in his rookie year. But you got to bounce back, brother. And we'll see you next season. Since apparently you're not healthy enough this year, but I wouldn't sell the farm on giving up on him just yet. But maybe get a veteran, or you might have this guy. I don't think Cam Sims is that guy like everybody wants him to be. He might be a 3 or a 4 in this offense.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want any more Inmans, no more Cody Lattimire's.
Yeah. No, God. No scrub vets.
Oh man, so I'll get to the freshman's question. He said, "What position do y'all think we should address first, out of safety or linebacker?" And then what order would you guys put positions of need for this offseason? Do we need left tackle the most? Do we need quarterback the most? Do we need wide receiver number 2 the most? Do we still need a tight end? Logan Thomas is cool, but is Logan Thomas really a number 1 tight end? Do we need a linebacker? Linebacker John Bostic, he's been kind of disappointing this season. Kenny, what's your positions and need list for this all season?
I would put a Mike linebacker at the top of the list, like a legit Mike. I know Ron, he's looking for the next Luke Kuechly, so just like we talking about it, they probably already have, oh yeah, we're going to take this guy. If, we have this pick, the 9th or 10th, we're going to take this guy. So I would say probably the linebacker position, the Mike linebacker. As far as left tackle, I think Morgan Moses is playing okay. And, with the flip-flop, we'll see. That might be lightning in a bottle right there. Did y'all peep that? He over on the left side. He doing okay, too. And I don't hear his name, so if you don't hear people's name, they doing a good job. You know what I mean? So I would have to see. But right now, I would say the Mike linebacker, man. That's all I could think on right now, Mike linebacker. And then, if I can find a stud wide receiver in the second round, yeah, like a what's the guy from Tennessee, Brown, like an AJ Brown or something, you know what I mean? Something like that. And then like the second round, I rushed that pick up there.
Yeah, we do need linebacker. We've seen Bostic, and not to hate on Bostic. I actually like Bostic, what he's done for us. He's helped us win a few games here and there, but we definitely are lacking at the linebacker position. And you see all the good Ron Rivera teams, they had Luke Kuechly. They needed that linebacker to motor the team to get to the playoffs. How about you, Oscar?
So I like linebacker first, tackle to be in the next position because we're decimated. How did we get what's this guy's name? Morgan Moses on left tackle, and we have David Sharp at the right tackle position. So I think that tackle would be the next. And then, of course, wide receiver as well, just so that way we can get younger and more, established guys as well. Because this Dontrell Inman experiment, Cody Latimer experiment didn't go anywhere. So that's my order as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wide receiver number 2 for sure is huge. We might. First round, it depends on where we are. If we do win the NFC East and we're number 21, and maybe somehow, some way, Jamar Chase falls, I highly doubt it happens. But if he does drop that far, then you got to take him. Or Kyle Pitts, the tight end, he's probably not going to drop to 21 either. But somebody somewhere near that caliber drop there, then you probably get a wide receiver or a tight end. How about you, Warpath?
I think it's linebacker. Ron Rivera runs his defenses through his linebackers, and this is one of the positions that has hurt the most. I think this defense could go from average to great with a good linebacker. So that you're talking about the kid out of Penn State, Parsons, if he's there, but he might not be there. I think also if we're picking at 8 or something, maybe Kyle Pitts, he might be there. And then I think that kind of lessens your need for a number 2 wide receiver because you're giving your quarterback 2 throwing options. So you're either Terry or Pitts, right? So I think that linebacker tied in because Logan, great number 2 guy. I think he could be a great number 2 guy, but I think that they need legitimacy at the tight end spot as
right.
number 2. Yeah, at number.
Right. Yeah, I like Logan a lot now. He can pass. He's versatile. He ran in the Wildcat, got a first down too.
He's elite.
Gotta love Logan Thomas, man. He threw the ball better than Andy Dalton. So we'll end on this one. What's you guys' keys to victory against the Steelers? And I guess we'll do a score prediction against the Steelers, and I guess we'll do some stat predictions as well. What's your bold prediction? Is Terry gonna go off for 150, or Chase gonna have 2 or 3 sacks on Big Ben? And I'll let you go first, Kenny.
Man, oh man. Listen, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I'm afraid of this game right here, Ed. This one right here, bro. Like I don't know. Like the only way we stand a fighting chance, not even just to hang in the game, we gotta come out swinging. We ain't gonna have to score. We're gonna have to establish a run. But by the way, they stopped the run. So I hate to play from behind with Alex Smith. He doesn't do well playing from behind. And I know Mike Tomlin. I know he's gonna send them peoples after him. You know what I mean? And he's an awesome coach. He's an awesome coach. I would say I think we're going to rumble, but we're going to lose. I would say 21-17 Pittsburgh. We're going to fight, though.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. We just got to be physical. Can't turn the ball over. Can't turn the ball. We cannot start off down. Especially with Alex. Alex has been playing he has played better down this year than he has in the past, but we cannot start. And they are going to bring the heat. This is going to be a good test for Morgan. It's going to be a good test for Davis Sharp if he's starting at right tackle. It's going to be a good test for him. How about you, Oscar?
Ooh, hard. So keys, just got to come out the gates. Got to repeat what we did with Dallas. Start out fast. Because if we start out slow, it's going to be another 20-0 situation, and we cannot have that, especially with Pittsburgh, because their defense is mean. Chase Claypool is emerging. Dante John, their wide receiving core is incredible. And they also got a good tight end in Ebron. If we can start out fast and somehow shut down one of those guys, take them one away. My pick would be take away Chase Claypool. We should make this game respectable. I also have Washington losing this one 23-17 maybe.
2017. Okay. How do you feel? How do you think Gibson does in this game?
60 yards rushing, because the Steelers can stop the run.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Because I think Scott gets scared with the run. Whenever things look bad, he really gets scared to run the ball. That's the only thing with Scott. If we get down by like 7, he's scared to run the football. So if we get down against the Steelers, then we're just not going to run the football at all. I see a Steelers Nation guy in here now. He's in the chat because we're playing them this week. How about you, Warpath?
You got to run the ball because right now the weather looks 35 for Pittsburgh. I don't know, so they're probably about 30 below freezing by the time they get ready to kick off at 5 o'clock. You got to run the ball. You got to find a way to establish whatever Scott thinks he needs to do with the passing game. Screw it. Run the ball. If that means you got to feed J.D. McKissick and you got to feed Peyton Barber and he's getting half a yard per carry, and you got to find a way to establish the running game. I think that my final score, and I do this every time now, I say it's going to be like 31-14. The team with the most points is going to win. And that's helped me out the last 2 weeks. I've been so I'm going to leave it at that. But the team with the most points is going to win this game.
Okay, so who wins?
Woo,
be honest here.
Shoot, hey man, hey look. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, and it's worked for the last 2 weeks in a row for me. So,
okay, we are on a 2-game winning streak. Some people don't. Think about. We are on a 2-game winning streak. This is our first time having a winning streak this season. But Dubs family, Dubs Gibson, as they call me, said, "Y'all gonna see ha 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 ha." Gibson is a beast. Grills Gibson. Hopefully we can see Gibson show off the grills in this game. That's what I'm
Grill
hoping.
him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Unfortunately, yeah, I have us losing too. I do see King Sean in the chat. He said it's good luck to say we're losing. And like I said we're going to lose to the Bengals. I said we're going to lose to the Cowboys. We won both games. So I guess that has been good luck. I have us losing too. I don't have us losing 31-14. I do have us losing by kind of like what Kenny and Oscar said, by 5 or 6. I think, their defense is just nasty. They got a nasty defense. Big Ben is Big Ben. They got Chase Claypool. They got Juju. They got Deontay Johnson. They have weapons. So, and they're undefeated for a reason. The loss is coming soon for them, though. I don't see them finishing the season undefeated. I do think they do have some flaws here and there. But I think we do end up losing. I think it's going to be a competitive game. As long as we don't turn the football over, I think we should be fine. I think it's going to be 24-17, something like that. I think Chase Claypool, he's probably going to have a big play. The matchups, Darby against, Juju, I don't know who Darby's going to be guarding or whatever. That is concerning too. But if we can stop their run game, stop James Conner and Alex, not throwing any interceptions or anything like that, I think we should be fine. It should be a competitive game. So, but yeah, we're going to end on that night. Last time we played the music, 3 of them boys on the Cowboys, we had a blast on that. I want to thank Warpath got his glasses on.
I'm still trying to find them, dude. I can't do it. I can't find them, man. Can't find these damn boys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we swept the Cowboys. We got to keep it going. Hopefully we can end up. Next time we stream is going to be in January. So hopefully by the time we stream again, we'll be celebrating again. Shout out to DC Bessie. He's laughing it up. So you guys make sure you guys sub up Kenny Man Fitness, man. He does fitness, so make sure you guys sub up his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is down below in the description. Make sure you guys check him out on Instagram as well. Shout out to Oscar. Make sure you guys, he's a baller, man. He plays ball, all that. He can shoot and everything. Shout out to Oscar. Make sure you guys sub up Oscar. Here we go. We them boys.
Ooh, we them boys.
They don't like that, Ed. Trust me, they don't like that. Trust me.
Where them boys?
Oh man. Make sure you guys check out Oscar. His channel's down below. Make sure you guys check out On the Warpath. His channel's down below. Thank you guys for coming out. If you want to become an Elite channel member, you can definitely do that with the link down in the description. All right, y'all have a good night. Hail to the football.